Everybody's Tyler here at the Michigan State Championship, checking in team number 1684, the Chimeras. This team, I love their look overall. Very compact machine, but a very efficient machine as well, too. To help me talk more about this robot, I have Millie, Aiden, and Travis. And of course, we'll follow that full cargo journey going through, but you gotta check it out. Dual intakes, awesome indexer, the climber is spot on, shooter as well, too, coming up here on Behind the Bumpers.
Your destination for first content, updates, and gaming.
Welcome to the fun.
First Updates Now is supported by Stryker Careers. First alumni and mentors are making Stryker a top priority for their internships and careers. That's because Stryker knows that those in First are the leaders and innovators of tomorrow. If you want to help make the world a better place by creating life-saving medical devices and technology, get started at careers.stryker.com.
Millie, we got to start out with your dual intake here. I think one of the big highlights of your robot. So talk to me a little bit more about why you decided to go dual intake. Talk to me about your packaging and maybe any iterations you did as well too.
So we decided to do 2 intakes because we wanted to maximize the amount of balls we could pick up during gameplay with only having 11 balls for your alliance. So we did dual intakes back in 2020, and we found that they worked really well for us. So both of them have a bunch of flex wheels on them, and they are 30 inches long. So, and then we have this flap here, which we kind of was inspired from the bees for it, and it comes in frame perimeter, and it's to help with the ball spinning on the bumpers. We had some gaffer tape on there, but that didn't look as pretty, so.
Got a little bit confused. When you're looking at from a ball acquisition standpoint on the field, do you find yourself using both intakes quite frequently during a match?
Yes.
And then, like, when your drivers are on the field, how are they communicating the fine cargo?
So typically, we're listening to our drive coach. He'll let us know when the nearest next 2 balls is, if the driver isn't already going for those 2.
Sure.
So the drive coach is always just 1 step ahead. We never want to rotate more than 180 degrees with our 2 intakes, because that would kind of not be the best.
Yeah.
So whatever's nearest, just go for that, as long as our other alliance partner isn't going for that too.
Can we see a piece of cargo come in, and then we'll hop into your indexer actually. So always going to be filtering to the back here. It seems like it does that quite quickly. Let's talk now the next stage, going into indexer there, Aiden.
Sweet. So we have a pretty basic Mecanum roller setup. We tried something out like this in 2017 with the fuel cells. We seem to like that, so it's all 3D printed 2-inch Mecanums. They bring them over so we can shoot from the ball all the way over in the farthest position to out the robot in about 1.5 seconds at most. This was pretty much our first design. We had it all nice and measured out, prototype by the end of, I think, week 2. So the hardest part, though, was trying to figure out how to get the ball from this lower position up into the shooter. We initially tried using some omnis and rolling the ball up with 3 different stages. That didn't quite work out because the ball, since it doesn't compress as much as we thought they might, we transitioned to more Mecanums, because we had a lot of those lying around and thought that would work the same, just as well as this. So they're tied together with bags, so they run at the same speed, at the same current. On the inside of here, we have some reflective sensors, so we know where the ball is located, so we can automatically pocket the ball. You saw when that ball came in, it pocketed from the left side here all the way over to here. So we want to be able to get that ball out of the robot as soon as possible, and that means closer to the shooter. If we were to bring a second ball in, this ball would come up to right where this reflective sensor is. So as soon as that gets beam broken, this ball would come up, and the second one would take its place right here.
As we go into your shooter here, notice you got pretty heavier set of flywheel here, and then you got your the one that speeded up as well too. So talk to me more about that. And then from teams that are doing swerve, what was your decision process to not do like a turret on your robot? Because obviously swerve can suffice a lot for that, but like when you were thinking about the concept of your robot, what made you choose just go with just a hood with no turret?
Okay. So we knew that we wanted to be able to shoot from just about anywhere. Some teams have an active hood. We decided to go with a pneumatically actuated one. Can you do layup? Is that possible? pneumatically actuated. Running it with 2 Falcon 500s on the main wheel and then 2 Neo 550s on the 2-inch hood wheel. We thought we might not need a turret on there. 1, because of weight. 2, because we have 2 intakes, so we don't really need to rotate more than 180 degrees at any point in time. And 3, it's swerve. The robot's able to turn in place by itself, so we don't need a turret to be able to do that.
When you're looking at from shooting in the field, what is kind of the sweet spot for Chimeras on the field?
Sweet spot is right up against the tarmac line. The second would be at the nearest launch pad.
Sure.
So we're able to use the limelight to detect that distance and be able to shoot from anywhere in that zone.
Let's wrap up your robot talking about your climber. Travis is going to talk a little bit more about that. Love to see of course, what the climber is itself, and then maybe walk us through the different stages of deployment on that climber too.
Yeah, sure. So our climber it has a primary and a secondary hook system. So what we are using for the primary is a Thrifty Bot telescoping climber kit, hooked down to a gearbox, which is right down here. It's got a 17-to-1 hooked to a Falcon 500, and it winches a string, so it's hooked up here, and it goes through the climber down to the winch, and it winches it down and out. And then, so if you can bring that out. Yep. And then we design these hooks. We have a sponsor that cuts them out of, they have a laser cutter and it cuts them out of Lexan. So what will happen is it'll pull it up and it'll pull it past these right here, hook on. Then this way you're able to move to the next bar, and it's pneumatically actuated. If you want to bring it out and bring it back. Right there. And then we just added these right before this competition. So what these right here will do, I like to call them our antenna. They slow down the swing and they protect the intake plates that are right here. And we just added flex wheels on there just to slow it down.
What is your timing from the climb? How long does it take you typically to go on traversal?
Around 8 to 10 seconds.
When you're looking at like from a cost benefit standpoint on there, is there like a point where you're like, hey, I'm just going to stay and shoot, or do you always try to go for traversal every time? Like, where's your strategy in that standpoint?
So really, it depends on where we're at. Like if we have balls that are actually inside pocketed and we're down for time, we will shoot those balls then go climb. But yeah.
Well, Chimeras, I love your machine. I love the aesthetics, by the way, too. Looks really nice. Got to love the all black, or at least mostly a little bit of green there, but almost, yeah. But wish you best of luck here at MSC. Hope to see you guys at World Championships well, too. So good luck here, and thanks a lot for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thanks to Stryker Careers for their support in this video. First alumni and mentors are making Stryker a top priority for their internships and careers. That's because Stryker knows that those in first are the leaders and innovators of tomorrow. If you want to help make the world a better place by creating life-saving medical devices and technology, get started at careers.stryker.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on our new videos. Keep the conversation going and provide your input to our content. Watch our live shows at twitch.tv/firstupdatesnow. Join our Discord at discord.gg/firstupdatesnow. And check out Fun FTC on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And First Updates Now on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.